Welcome back again, brothers and sisters of the Remnant. I did an earlier episode a little while back where I briefly discussed the persecution going on in Canada, and it looks like it isn't lessening anytime soon. A recent video captures the arrest of another pastor at his home in Calgary.
Served, okay, and then you got that gathering on June the 6th.
Yep.
Okay, so that's what you're under arrest for.
So he's under arrest for gathering. Imagine hearing that. Imagine being the cop saying those words. You're under arrest for the crime of gathering.
Any avenues for you guys to question orders, or do you always just
Bye, Daddy.
No other jurisdiction is imprisoning pastors for breaking health orders.
Again, I'm not going to speak to that, okay?
In Canada,
Okay.
it's only Alberta.
I would say...
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, guys. Okay?
Can you guys share maybe why Jason Kenney gets a free pass and you're arresting pastors across the province?
So Jason Kenney is like their big political figure there in the area. And he was seen like having meetings and like gathering with his friends and stuff outside. So basically the report is saying like, why is that okay? He's not being arrested, but a pastor gathering outside, by the way, is
Any
bad.
comment, any emotion for this family whatsoever? No, you're just going to drive off just like that. Is this why you became a police officer?
No, sir, I did not.
Have a good day.
To me, like, if you're the police, I know there's like big consequences, but why would you follow orders that you believe are not right? This is how bad things happen, right? People follow orders that they don't believe in. That's like every sign of something terrible that's ever happened in history, where I was just following orders. I didn't know I was throwing them all in prison for nothing, or I did know, but it's just following orders. It's not gonna work. Before we get into this episode, I would just like to briefly say if you like what we've been doing on this channel and think there is a need for Christians to speak truth to the culture, I would like to ask you to support us financially to help us out with equipment costs and improve and grow our content and work here. I would ask you to support us on Patreon. Click the link down below and become a member of the Third Option team and help us reach a world with Christ's truth. Thanks. Now, let's get into it. I'm Nathan Collins, bringing you the truth of Christ in a post-truth culture. So some watching may be thinking, he must have done something really bad, right? People don't just get arrested, Nathan, for nothing. Wrong. He totally did get arrested for nothing. Come on. He got arrested because his church was still meeting from the first time they got shut down for having a church gathering in a church building. Now busted a second time for having a church gathering in a hidden location. The location, by the way, which was outdoors because their church building had been shut down. It was hidden until the helicopters found their secret meeting spot. Seriously, that's how insane Canada is. They would waste all these resources on a small group of Christians by sending a helicopter to search for their church gathering. His crime was meeting with his church. What alternate universe are we now living in? After he was arrested, he had to go see the justice of the peace and was offered a bail on the condition he would not meet with his church. Needless to say, he didn't sign the document. And didn't get bail. He will be held in jail until June 28th. Hypocritically, local politicians can meet and gather, and many other government-favored groups can also meet. Also, events like dance parties, the NHL can gather in Calgary. All these groups can meet, just not the undesirable groups, aka Christians. We as Christians need to be proactive with what is becoming more and more common, the silencing of Christians. If you've been watching the way the wind has been blowing the last few decades, the trend is becoming more and more obvious. Christianity isn't only unfavored, its existence cannot be tolerated. Let's be honest here. There are many who have their hands on the levers of power in many of society's institutions who don't want to tolerate Christianity, but think it's abusive and evil. They don't see a future that Christianity can be a part of. We as Christians in general, but not all to be sure, have largely kept silent while the world is being swallowed up by a growing darkness. I think maybe some of us believe that it could never happen to us or affect our lives where we live. I think we know the misguided thinking of that belief now. There is a famous quote by pastor and theologian Martin Niemöller talking about Nazi Germany. First, they came for the communists, and I did not speak up because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. And then they came for me. We should have been wise enough to nip these false radical ideologies in the bud a long time ago, but we didn't. It was always someone else's problem. Well, not anymore. And now we've got to deal with it. We need to pray for Pastor Tim and his family and his local church. We need to speak up in each of our individual spheres and boldly be who Christ has redeemed us to be. The world wants to silence us and make us go away. The darkness hates the light and wants it gone. In the face of opposition, we need to shine all the more brightly. Challenge the lies and the falsehoods out there. Don't just turn a blind eye to it. Speak up and live loudly. Proclaim the good news of Jesus Christ. Well, that's all for this episode, but if you like this episode, go ahead and subscribe and check out our other episodes as we address different issues in our world and bring you the truth of Christ in a post-truth culture. Oh, and also, before I forget, coming next month, July, school is out, so I will be free from teaching and will have more time to focus on video content, so I should be pumping out a lot of content y'all's way, so should be a good month.